Now, you brought
Yeah.
up Raising Arizona. I have to ask you, how in God's green earth did that film get made in a studio at all? I mean, like you can't. You read that script. I have to believe you read that script, and you see Blood Simple, which is completely different. I mean, it has some tones, but it is the other side of the Coen brothers. It's like they're serious, and then there's the Miller's Crossing and the Big Lebowski. They have those two juxtapositions
Right.
of their sensibilities. So you've come from Blood Simple, which generally in studio world they just want you to do the same thing again. But they've completely changed and go to Raising Arizona. How does that script get financed? And then how do you explain like how you're going to shoot? It's such a unique piece of art that was made within a studio. Even back then, I mean, now that would never ever in a million years get made. But back then, even how did that even get financed? How did that happen?
Well, Fox was a distributor, but Fox was not putting up the money. The money came from a guy named Ted Pettit, who owned a lot of movie theaters and who eventually bought the rights to Blood Simple. Mm-hmm. So the Coens, to be the distributor. So the Coens had a relationship with Ted. Fox was very involved, but the thing about Joe and Ethan is they would never do a film for hire. They've always had final cut. They're always willing to walk away if they don't have final cut. Joe always says, I don't know how to direct a movie if I'm not in charge of it all the way till the end. So I think it was a little risky, but it wasn't that risky. It wasn't an expensive movie. Mm-hmm. It's the other reason that Joe and Ethan can have final cut is their movies don't cost a lot of money. As I said, I think it might have been $5 million to do Raising Arizona. And so that the downside of that cost is not that much for a studio.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's how, yeah.
And they took a risk, basically. They just kind of rolled the dice a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not that big a risk. If you lose $5 million and you can't even release it for a big studio, it's not that big a deal.
Right. Exactly.